What's up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist here with
Gersh1.
and we're back at it again to answer your questions in another episode of For the Greater.
And this is a series where we answer questions left by our subscribers. If you are a subscriber or if you're just a watcher, you can comment down below, put question followed by your question about Warhammer 40k, and we try to answer them for you because we have a lot of knowledge about the lore of Warhammer 40k.
That's right.
Contrary to popular belief.
We do go to the Black Library, and that's where we get our answers. So,
The Black Library, yes, in the webway.
that's right.
Speaking about the webway, Regress Manira says, "What's going on in the fracture of Biel Tan?"
All right, guys. So there is a lot going on. Think of it as a
Spoiler alert. First.
spoiler. So if you don't want to know, fast forward maybe like 2, 3, 4 minutes.
Yeah.
So basically, the Fracture of Biel Tan, think of it as like a Fall of Cadia Part 2, but for the Eldar. Now, I'm going to quickly go through the gist of everything that's going on. So it starts off, you're in Camera. I believe Vect is holding like a tournament or like a Coliseum fight. And Lady Malice is fighting up against like a bunch of the guys. And I believe, I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe she gets taken by the powers of Ened or Yenid or however it is you pronounce it.
Ned, yeah.
Ened and Ened, whatever. And she actually becomes the that new model that's coming out, the
Avatar of
the
Ned.
the Avatar of Ened. So she, through the death of all these guys in the Coliseum and whatnot, she gets this power, and then somehow, fast forward a couple minutes or whatever, there is a demonic breach, and Kamara is beset by demons. Now Vect, he's like, I'm out, I'm gonna let, Kamara deal with it. I'm gonna let all the other guys, go at it, and once they're weak, I'm gonna come in and finish them off. So that happens. While that's going on, the emissary, she's about to get killed, but then, boom, a sword comes in and blocks the demons, and it's actually the new guy with the sword, the red guy, the swordsman, what's he called?
From the three guys.
The three guys.
Well, the only guy.
Yeah, the only Dark Eldar looking dude.
Mm-hmm.
So he comes in, he saves her. He's like, I've got one of the swords of prophecy or something like that, and they need to go out to these other craft worlds and find these swords. Eventually, they go to, locate these swords. There's battles going on. There's demons constantly following them. And they end up going to Biel Tan. Now, in Biel Tan, they're basically, Slaanesh is following the Incarn, the emissary. And her task is to awaken the Avatar of Ened. So there's a bunch of stuff going on there. I don't want to spoil too much, so that's why I'm giving you a brief description. Anyway, it turns out that Prince Yariel comes in to save him. He's got like that Twilight sword. And then they find out that there is an actual sword on a plague, like a plague ship of Nurgle. So they're like, this is going to be a suicide mission. We need people to get in there, get the sword, and come out. So Prince Yariel, he's like, yeah, I'll do it. I'll get my best command and we'll go. So they end up fighting with this greater demon. And Yariel actually dies, but somehow his body ends up being teleported back to the craft world, and it turns out that his Twilight Spear is actually the sword. So he gets stabbed with the Twilight Spear, comes back to life, his spear becomes the sword, and that is the final sword needed to summon Ened. And basically, Ened is summoned, he goes and he wrecks some demon stuff, and that's as far as I'll go, because there's a little bit after that, but I don't want to spoil too much, because I feel like I've already gotten deep into the spoiler territories, so.
And that's what happens in the Fracture of Biel Tan.
It is a really good read. If you love Eldar, go with it, definitely. If you don't, it's amazing writing, like, I like it.
One thing that I will say, it's kind of cool to see GW do this, because I think they're taking the world of 40k and going into like individual like scenarios, and at some point Magnus the Red, Gilliman.
Actually, yeah, there's
they're also, all gonna.
Yeah, there's a battle between some Zeech stuff. So if you like Zeech, there you go.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. Let's move on to some more questions. The Lost Crusader. Question. What order do you think the Loyalist Primark will come back in, and why? I think first Gilliman, second... Oh, okay. So yeah. So who's the next Primark to come back, do you think? What's your opinion?
A lot of rumors seem to revolve around the Lion, Lionel Johnson.
Yeah.
And there's also rumors about Lehman Russ for the Space Wolves. So I want it to be Vulcan personally, but it's probably going to be one of the other two.
Yeah, I would agree that it's Lion. The Lion.
Because there's rumors of a new Dark Angel Codex coming out, so we'll see.
Next question.
This one's by Lord Janik. Is there any Asian-inspired Space Marine chapter or Imperial Guard unit? Obviously, you've got the Greco-Roman Ultramarines and the Viking Space Wolves, but where's the Asian love?
Asian-inspired?
The only thing I could think of is the White Scars with their Khans, because they are like Mongols, you know.
Yeah. I thought there was another one too. They were like big puffy hats. They're part of like their Imperial Guard regiment. They're for the snow, but they're Asian.
It's not the Russian ones?
It's not the Valhallans. It's because those are the Russian ones,
Yeah.
but there's another one that's like Asian, and they're wearing like it's the same because like Russia and the Mongolian or Mongolia is like right there, so they kind of look alike. I don't know. I can't remember. I'll try to research it and comment in your comment.
Good question though.
Yep. Next question. Madara Yuchimagusuke. I don't know. How do you think Gilliman will react to the practice of following the Codex Astartes to the letter? He came up with it as a guideline and not a rule book. And how will the Astartes react when they say that they shouldn't follow it so strictly? When I don't think he's gonna do that. I think like he's just gonna say, so I left you guys this information. You guys did this with it. Let's move forward. Because like Gilliman is supposed to be a general of order, right? He's supposed to like. So I think instead of getting bogged down in like what you guys did in the past or whatever, I think he's just gonna say, all right, it is what it is. Let's take this forward. And I think the conflict is gonna come in him fighting the enemies of the Imperium, but also the enemies of the Imperium coming up and fighting him. I think like either the Inquisition, the what is it called, the Ecclesiarchy, and also like other Space Marine chapters are gonna try to fight him.
Yeah, because they're like, they see this new guy rise up, and he's like, oh, this is he's just a Primarch. They used to be respected back in the day. We don't want to lose our power to him, so there's gonna be some internal strife.
Yep.
This one's by Ark the Dragon. If the Imperium and the Eldar formed an alliance of mutual gain, would it be possible for their combined forces to invade the Putrid Gardens, rescue Isha from Nurgle, and have her restore the Emperor?
I think the Laughing God is the one that's gonna end up saving Isha.
Yeah.
But who was?
This is a combined effort of the Imperium and the Eldar.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that, especially now that the whole fracture about 10 is coming up. I think that the Incarn is going to be more bad than good, because he is the god of death. And I think the Imperium is going to have to ally with the Eldar, who see this new creature as kind of what humanity saw the reincarnation of the Emperor. With the whole Illuminati and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So yeah, I think they will work together. I don't know if they're gonna rescue Isha though. Yeah,
I feel like the Eldar really need Isha right now, because she's like the opposite of, in Ned.
Yeah.
God of death, she's the god of, wellness, health,
Yep.
So it's gotta happen, but I don't know if it'll be the Eldar and the Imperium doing it.
And I don't think if it's gonna be that quick.
Right.
Because then that would be like a quick end to the story. And I think what GW is trying to do is just trying to put out as many like little snippet stories around the universe to get people to buy more stuff. Next question comes from Woofing Game, or Gaming Wolf. What do Retcon GW Kent by Terra? What do Retcon GW?
What do you reckon, GW?
Oh.
meant by Terra if we get there? Oh, so
What?
they're saying, what do you think GW meant when they said if the... Because he's talking about the fall of Cadia. Because I think on one of their trailers was like, oh, the Imperium is getting besieged by all sides. Will they get to Terra? Like, what'll happen if they get there?
Oh, okay. So what happens in another War of Terra?
Yeah.
It would be led by Abaddon, though, or Phaelodon. So the chances of him failing are pretty strong.
Right.
And also, the Ultramarines are going to come in strong now, I feel, now that Gilliman is back.
Yep, definitely.
Next question.
This one's by Pisars Milowski. What if all the Psychers in the Imperium gathered on one planet and committed suicide? Last time on Terra, the Emperor was created. Now, would we have a new Emperor, or would it resurrect the old one? Or perhaps something else?
I thought we answered this before, but we'll answer it again. We don't know the strength and the power of the psychic beings that sacrifice themselves to create the Emperor. So in reality, and then back then, I'm pretty sure psychic powers were different because the warp was different.
Mm-hmm.
So now, even if all those people got together, sacrificed themselves, I don't think they'll be able to recreate another Emperor.
And anyway, that seems like an impossible task to literally get every Psyker in the Imperium. And what's to say that they're all going to be like, yeah, sure, we'll kill ourselves. Like, they're Psychers, they're already like, they can kill anybody with like a flick of the finger. Flick of the wrist.
Next question.
Esteban Salazar. Can a demon Primark become something like a god? I mean, they're demigods already. No. Yeah. To become a god is literally kind of impossible. I haven't heard of anything or anyone becoming a god. Closest thing would probably be the Emperor, but...
And, Enid.
Yeah. Well,
but, like, the whole point is that it takes millions and millions of people devoting their psychic abilities to the creation of this god.
right.
Whereas, like, the demon Primarchs are just generals. Next question comes from the Iron Kai. Hey, Sound Alchemist, is it true what they say, that Tau women prefer human men?
Yes and no. It depends on the flavor of the human man. But I mean, you gotta have some Tau on Tau love if you want their race to procreate. So... do you know if like an Eldar caste can have a child with an air caste? It is frowned upon because of the society that the Ethereals have put it in. It is all class-based. You are not supposed to intermingle with your class. And if they do, I think the child would be hunted down because it'd be a mixture of these traits that the Ethereals want to keep separated. It's like the fire caste, they're supposed to be short and stocky. The air caste is supposed to be tall, light-limbed. So...
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So in reality, there could be a story out there, a fanfic, of like a lichen,
like in
vampire type of thing.
Yeah.
Because like in Underworld, it's like the lichen and the vampire had a baby, and it was this like superpower dude. So it'd be like a superpower Eldar, like a tall.
Tau.
Oh yeah, Tau.
Yeah. Like a Tau. It'd be like a tall, strong dude, and you never know.
Get to writing, guys.
Yeah.
That's not susceptible to the ethereal mind control.
Hey, even better. Defects and makes his own, he becomes a commander in the new Farsight Empire.
Does that mean that the Farsight enclaves, do they still hold the caste system?
Most of the enclaves are warriors. They're all soldiers.
Oh.
There are a few pilots that are secretly working for Farsight. That's how he's able to get all this new technology, like storm surges and whatnot.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
but as far as I know, it's all mostly Firecast. Good question, though. Colin Turner Todd. Since Eldar Exodites were millions of parsecs away from the epicenter of Slaanesha's birth, can they have babies? Or are they still sterile? I thought I heard somewhere that it is part of a young warrior's initiation to battle other warriors. So doesn't that mean that they have to have children, or else there would be no youngsters to go through this initiation?
That's a good question, and I don't really have a straight answer. But I guess so you could take this to fit the lore by saying that there's so little bit of exodited worlds out there that even if they all started having babies like as soon as they were ready, I don't think they would bring to the population of you know.
Right.
Not to mention, even if they got a huge population, they want to maintain away from the Dark Eldar and the Eldar.
Right.
Because of that whole thing. It's kind of like the Amish. There could be tons of Amish people, but it's not like the U.S. government's going to go in there and take them and be like, all right, be warriors now. Yeah.
Bloodseeker 42. What would happen if you shot a las gun or a las cannon at a vehicle covered with mirrors?
They'll break through the mirror.
Yeah, because they're not. It's not like a light.
Yeah.
As much as all the memes say they're flashlights, but yeah, it'll. Why would you even have a tank made out of mirrors? It's like you hit a rock, you're already. Yeah.
Clorox bleach. What could be the next playable alien race in 40k? I really wish they would bring the squats back. There's some really awesome custom squat models. Yeah, they take like the new the what are they called? The red dwarf guys from Fantasy or from Age of Sigmar, and they convert them, put like Gatling guns on them and stuff like that. They look really cool.
I for one want to see an aquatic race. I've been saying this for a long time. GW, listen, because it'll bring something new to the table. There's not a lot of water in 40k. So next question is by Vajra Asura. Do you guys believe that GW is going to kill Slaanesh with the birth of the new Eldar god? Hopefully not, because it is just an attempt to get younger kids into the game. Yeah, I doubt they're gonna kill a freaking chaos god.
Cause they'll get rid of an entire model line.
Right. They've got too much lore invested in it. It'd be a horrible decision, both lore-wise and business-wise.
But I do see when people say, when they say like, oh, you can bring more, kids into it. But if you look at the Slaaneshi models aren't even that
sexualized.
Yeah.
It's mostly the conversions that get you there.
Yeah. Next question comes from David Alejandro. So can the Inquisition really know someone is a heretic just by looking at them?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
Basically, everybody's a heretic to them. It just depends if they want to act on it. No, but yeah. They do have psychers with them, so they could, read their minds, see the future and all that, and they can detect, oh, this guy's gonna be a bitch and cause an uprising. So.
Yep. Next question comes from Shadowkeep. In the new lore coming out, could the truth between the two Eldar factions hold or fall apart?
Yeah, it's again, spoiler. If you don't want to know, don't listen. So yes, there is a when the Avatar comes out, a bunch of Dark Eldar and Eldar, they're like, you know what, we're gonna cut off ties with our craft world and we're gonna follow you. That's why there are Black Guardians. Now, Black Guardians were Eldar Guardians that have denounced their way of old and are now in prayer to Ynid or Ined. So, yeah.
But the worship of Ined is not a Dark Eldar thing, like
no.
Exclusively Dark Eldar. It gets complicated.
Yeah, it's complicated.
So I think it's more like fracture. It's a fracture.
It's a fracture, yeah.
A bunch of factions everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere.
Hitoshura, do you think Tyranid DNA could be used to adapt Space Marine gene seed to races other than humans?
Maybe, but I don't think we'll ever get to know, because I feel like that's a little too in depth for GW to ever cover it. They already kind of do go. They kind of answer this question with the Gene Stealers and the what's the new thing that came out for them?
The Tyranids, the cult.
Yeah, the Gene Stealer cult. There you go. And I feel like that's probably as deep as they'll go into that side of the lore for them. So.
Yeah, but there are. So I don't think the Imperium would ever use the gene seed of, or like the gene manipulation ability of a Tyranid, but the Tyranids already have used Space Marine genetics to build those, what are they called?
Hive guards.
Hive guards, yeah. And then there's more. There's like other guys.
Right.
Last question. I think we've already answered this, but this is Madara Yuchigamukusuke. If the Tau are so great to combat chaos, you think that the Cabal made them, or are they influenced or that they influence their rise to power.
Yeah, there's a lot of rumors suggesting how they rose so fast in their technology. There could be the Eldar, Gersh's theory here, or it could be the Cabal. They don't really go into that because during that time of the rapid technological growth, there were warp storms basically surrounding the Tau Empire, and that's how they rose to power.
Yep. Those were the questions for this week. Thank you guys so much for leaving those. Continue to do that. Comment down below. Give us questions so we can answer them for you next week. And if you want to, support us on Patreon. A simple $1 a month helps us create more videos for you guys.
That's right. And to say a big thank you to our Patreons, there is a surprise giveaway going out. So become a patron. It's only $1 a month. And you guys get awesome giveaways.
Yeah, so do that. Jump in there. If you spend $1, you get a what is it?
I've got a Sanguinary Guard, and there's more surprises to come. So for $1, you get more videos and giveaways exclusive to you. Yeah, why not, guys? And that's all we've got for you today. As always, he is
Gersh1.
I'm the Sound Alchemist. We got the window back, and thank you guys.